How y'all doing this morning? 9 something or so. I like to get up and take me a walk early in the morning. Even if I don't walk much, I like to go sit down in the park, you know what I mean? Where it's nature at, of some sort. Where it's positive energy at. Nobody comes to the park to be angry. And even if they go to the park angry, they go to the park or for the park to soothe. To bring something more peaceful to them. We all children. Why do you think children want to go to the park? It's a happy vibe. Cut this adult shit out y'all lives, and y'all would be happier children of God. It's guaranteed. I was just watching something. You know, chick who I'm dealing with right now, who is the father to the child that calls me dad. Yeah, I speak in very precise terms for a reason. Some people will pick up, some people won't. But anyway, got my little incense this morning, man. At one point, it say we burned incense and God was pleased, right? So be pleased with me. I don't think that Jesus coming or anything else would screw that up. I'm pretty sure if they please me, the smell, the scent, the thought, it's the thought that counts. Pleases him as well. Excuse my fucked up grill if it's all up in the camera, y'all. But anyway, I was watching something, and a long time ago in, say, junior high school, I had an African teacher, man, you know, still had the heavy accent, talk like that, you know what I mean, even though he spoke English. And he told me something about, you know, dark matter and gray matter. And then he tried to explain to me how it was in my brain. And this is one of those points in my life where I didn't shut up and I didn't listen to somebody, right? And still to this day, what he could have told me, the knowledge he could have gave me that would have been sent from God, plagues my brain and bothers me. Because I truly don't know what it is about it. And so, let's go to the Django next. Or Django, excuse me. I don't know why I still do the D. Probably because my name starts with a D. But yeah, though, there was a point in Django where they sat down and they were going to go buy Hilda or Hildy, whatever her name is, Django wife, his girl. And what ended up happening there was they got found out at the table. Samuel L. Jackson, old House Nigga ass, you know what I mean? He I think they know her. What it is they coming to blah, 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 that girl here, Hildy. And so Miss Short Candy, he goes in, he buys he goes in and he grabs a Negro skull that he had. And he busts it open. And he basically point out a dot that I just learned about that's supposed to be in the middle of the forehead. The third eye. The thing that opens you up to psychic abilities and such. And basically, he say it makes us inferior. But seemingly, you know, those direct descendants of God before everything got diluted and became derogatory. Like those direct descendants, right? The chosen ones, so to speak. He basically opened up the skull, bashed it, pull off the part that he wanted. And it was that same third eye, that dot right in front of your brain. And it's odd because I see things that people can't see, whether it be other beings that exist here. whatever it is, right? And I'm one person out of many. I don't know how many more of me there are. That said it's redemption, or that there should be redemption for all of us. But everything has a price. It matters not where you come from, nor who you are when you're here on this plane of existence with me. The plane of existence that I'm trapped in for the time being. I do believe that there's redemption for almost every form of life here. So, I hate this, man. My head ain't clear as it's supposed to be. But, anyway, I see things. I can read people's minds. I'm psychic. I know it's going to happen from one moment to the next a lot of times. I was recently in a, say, 5 to 6 month situation. 4 or 5, 4 to 6, let's say, give or take. And a lot of things were happening to me, man. And basically, no matter where I was at during that time frame in space, or in the space-time, continuum, let's say that, since I don't understand, or since I can't think of the word that I was trying to use, let's say that, because I do understand space-time continuum as it's been sold to me. And see, they sell you all this shit in school, and then they tell you the game is to be sold, not to be told, when the game is to be told. The knowledge is free, it's right there in front of you. Sometimes if you just want it bad enough, you can reach your hand out, reach your mind out, and you can grasp. And then with a little bit of, sticking with it, you can achieve. Just by your own self, man. It's like Wi-Fi. If we could send knowledge through the air as being the lesser gods we are, why couldn't God send knowledge and information through the air? Well, man, stop cheating yourself and then stop cheating him or her. As I said, I don't know it as a man. I know it as a woman. That spirit that came and hugged me when I was a child. And, you know what I mean? I couldn't go get the love and warmth and protection I needed from my parents. You know what I mean? Not to fault my father, man. The nigga worked too much. He deserved to sit his ass down as much as he wanted to, man. And have peace. That he chose to be peace. I'm sticking by that nigga's side till I motherfucking leave. Because ain't none of us perfect. And I don't give a fuck what he did. I ain't his judge. More so, he was mine. Same thing go for my mom. Period. So whatever they had going on, there was a quarrel between them, if they ever had one, they need to drop that shit. Now, that black matter, looking at Django the movie. That gray matter, looking at Django the movie. When Miss Short Candy was at the table with the white guy who helped Django find Hildy, and he busted that skull open. And it had some derogatory things to say about how black people were less, inferior. I'll say, basically, now that I'm back on par with where I was going with this, right? I even thought about sitting down and writing these things, but I like my shit to be a little bit more organic, because when I get to the point where I start popping off and talking and just throwing information at you, then it's good. It's not going to be diluted, none of that type of stuff. And if something is interjected and added, it needed to be. But anyway, I keep telling people how they're posting and putting all this stuff in movies. And media of all forms now, really. The truth. But selling it to you as fiction. Because they have programmed your brain to look at that little box that sits in your living room and believe that everything that comes off of it is fiction. That's not the real world. But yet, we have a saying that says, art imitates life. And nobody pays attention to these little intricacies that really give you the power. They say knowledge is power. Well, then why do we send our kids to school to get educated? Because education is not knowledge, it's indoctrination. They're indoctrinating your kids to live this false 9-to-5 reality where they're going to be a slave for the rest of their lives and very few make it out. You need to know how to read, write, and count. And then it's up to you to figure out where are you going to go with that read, writing, and counting. Let's just take a little example, right? The forefathers tell a lot of this shit, math. And we ain't got to go all the way back to the Egyptians. We can start right here with the white people, Einstein and all these other people. And as much as they whitewash history, them niggas might have been black. You heard me? So, that's all they needed to learn how to do. If you want to go back further than Einstein, is read, write, and count. If you read, you should know how to spell well. So anyway, that's all they needed was the Trinity, the fundamentals at one point. You know what I mean? And look at where we came and all this knowledge we got just from those fundamentals. Because every man has a piece of the greater knowledge or a piece to the greater puzzle. Every one of us. So, with that said, in Django, they pretty much told the inverse of the truth. They told you about the spot in the middle of your forehead. Shit, the Bible even say 666, that's the mark of a man. It tells you the truth. But then, it says you will not be able to buy, eat, nor sell unless you have a mark. And that makes us scared because we need to eat. But we do not need to buy or sell in order to survive when everything has been provided and given already. So, as I look at this movie, they basically tell you the truth. There's a spot in the middle of your head that makes you different. Not inferior, but different. This is why it also says, when two or more are gathered in my name, I am amongst them. You ever wonder why when a group of black people gather together, a group of brown people gather together, they have this elaborate party. It's loud music. They screaming. They almost go back to their tribal roots. And who their ancestors were years and years before. And why everybody wants to be a part of that party. Furthermore, this is why we are looked at as entertainers in this world and have always been looked at as entertainers in this world. It's because we raise the vibrational frequency of those that come in contact with the things that we create. We were once the creators. Until we shared sacred knowledge. From God, from Mama, from Skyfather, whoever you want to call it. Whatever the true name is. We shared that knowledge. And see, when you're entrusted with the power of a God, God's not going to give us to somebody that he thinks lightly of, who is not ready to wield it. Because things like, that happen in history can actually happen. The original Masons weren't white people, man. If it was, they wouldn't be lying in these books about we cannot build a pyramid to this day. If the original Masons were white, they would not be lying about that. They would be so fucking proud that they made those fucking pyramids. But then that's how it is when you deal with a bunch of cowards. And I don't speak on everyone, who has this hue to their, or tone to their skin. I mean, these motherfuckers can't even be proud that they did some crooked shit, took a country, used slave labor to basically build this bitch up to the infrastructure that it is today. They can't even admit that shit. But yet, we let them hold us in these bonds of the same ideology that fucking got us here. But they won't admit to it. So then that means it's rightfully ours for the taking if we claim it. Once again, my nigga Kanye say, we stop the ignorance, we kill the fucking enemy. But nobody want to fucking listen to this shit. Nobody want to listen to what's real. Because what if he said, let's make America great again, right? And we just don't know what the fuck this country was called before we got brainwashed into calling this bitch America. What if he just meant, let's make whatever this motherfucking landmass truly is great again? Wouldn't that speak for us? But you motherfuckers is too dumb and caught up and hear the stupid shit. You motherfuckers is dumb and caught up off the ignorance. I'ma keep vouching for my nigga. Because I guarantee you I'll die free, motherfuckers. I guarantee you. They tell you in the Bruce Willis movie, die hard, nigga. Live or die free, nigga. It's time for us to wake up as a people, man. These motherfuckers that obscured our vision so far, right? I put it to you like this. I don't too much like picking up books. I don't too much like looking at these videos and shit that I look at, right? But if I'm low on energy, and it's not something that I already have in my graph that I'm trying to work out every algorithm to it to find out what's going to be the truth when I come up with a true algorithm, then I have to go research. So the thing about the truth, right? It's a revolving wheel. It goes around and around and around and a fucking round, right? Anytime you find a lie in that revolving wheel, since a lie stems from the truth, a lie cannot exist without the truth to build that lie upon. You get thrown out of the loop. And then you build another circle over here. And that lie that stems from the truth can start to revolve around someone's existence and become their truth. But what is the truth? A man cannot lie to himself, but a man can be lied to. As my nigga Bart said, you're born with the truth, my nigga. You know the truth. Excuse me for all my eye boogers and shit, y'all. I don't really wash my face when I wake up in the morning. I throw some water on it. Sometimes I get everything off. Sometimes I don't. So I apologize. I'm not here to be pretty, man. You catch me after 12 o'clock, more than likely, I'm not going to hop on a video with boogers in my eye and shit, though. See, like, right now, I'm just sitting there thinking, right? And I'm really not thinking. It's a quiet moment. More processing. And see, they even lied to you about that, right? They tell you a computer can process. We all individually know that a computer is designed off of a brain. Thinking is not processing. Processing is the action of processing the thoughts in which you have already thought. the data that you have stored up here, processing it, finding out what to do with it, seeing if it's useful to you or not, finding where it should be stored for further notice. They tell you can only use one side of your brain. Well, my people, I use both sides. I can cut off my left side and I can focus on using my right side. I can cut off my right side and I can focus on using my left, or I can use both. See, I'm dealing with this woman who my son, and I'm going to keep calling him my son, calls, excuse me. Anyway, just yesterday, and it's not a thought that I had just yesterday, right? I had to pull this from the data banks of my brain. Oh, yeah. I forgot when dealing with her, I only need to use the right side of my brain. Let me cut off the left, or the left. It makes it so much more easier to deal with the nonsense, the bullshit that I have to go through right now, right? Because this is the ship that I chose to fucking journey on. But it's getting ready to crash. So, once again, man, let's just recap the video and I'm gonna go. I was watching a video and it led me to another video on YouTube. Delbert Blair, Dr. Delbert Blair, Gilbert Blair, something of that nature, right? And the difference between human, God man, and something or other was the bulk of the video, right? And personally, me, I do believe my rightful place is out there in the stars, man. Some way, somehow, it's not here. Like, this is not my living and resting place. I don't believe that. Plus, I've dealt with beings that you probably would be terrified to fucking see in the flesh. And I'm not talking about the bullshit that my parents, my family, these people, those people may have put me through. I'm not talking about that shit. I'm talking about the real shit that I seen, because whatever I suffered, right, I never became angry off of it. I just always tried to process it, figure it out, and put some real world, why is this going on behind it. But anyway,